Nestled deep in a vast, untouched forest was a small, indigenous community that lived along the banks of a river. This river was not only their water source, but the lifeblood of their traditions, their livelihood, and their history. The villagers' connection to the river ran deep. Its flow mirrored the rhythms of their lives, guiding their farming cycles, their songs, and their stories. The elders said the river held the spirit of their ancestors, and the young ones learned early to honor and protect it. Among the community was Niko, a young, passionate activist in their 20s. Growing up by the river, Niko had spent countless hours listening to elders speak of the river's spirit, and they felt a fierce duty to protect it. Niko's heart burned with a vision of defending their land and preserving their culture. But it was also a time of growing threats, one that the community would soon have to face. One morning, Niko heard disturbing news at a village meeting. A major corporation was planning to build a large chemical plant upstream. The corporation had secured permits from the national government, and if built, this plant would dump toxic chemicals into the river. This was more than an environmental threat. It was a direct attack on the community's life source, endangering their food, water, health, and culture. Niko felt anger and despair, but also a strong sense of duty. After speaking with elders and listening to their wisdom, Niko made a choice. They would lead the fight to protect the river. It wouldn't be easy, but Niko knew that if they did nothing, the river and everything it meant to their people would be lost forever. Niko started by organizing community meetings, gathering as many people as they could, young and old, to educate them on the dangers of the proposed plant. Many in the village feared challenging a powerful corporation, knowing that such fights often didn't end well for small communities. But Niko's determination was infectious. Gradually, villagers came forward, ready to support the campaign. With the help of a few tech-savvy friends from nearby villages, Niko set up social media pages to raise awareness, posting photos of the river, stories from the elders, and videos of the rich biodiversity that the river nurtured. They named the campaign Rise of the River Guardians to symbolize their mission and started a hashtag to amplify their message. Soon, the campaign started gaining traction. People from nearby villages, then towns, began following the story, many offering words of encouragement and sharing the posts. Niko was learning quickly about the power of digital advocacy, how it could connect their small community with supporters from around the world. With the online support growing, Niko decided to organize a protest. They worked tirelessly with other young activists, creating banners that read, "Save our river and protect our land." On the morning of the protest, hundreds of people from the surrounding areas joined the community at the riverbank, filling the air with the sounds of drums, chanting, and heartfelt speeches. Niko stood at the front, addressing the crowd with fierce resolve. Our ancestors fought to protect this river, and now it's our turn. This is more than just water, it's our heritage, our life, our future. The protest attracted local journalists who filmed the passionate crowd. Soon the footage was circulating in the media, and the corporation, once sure of its project, realized that their actions were being scrutinized. But the fight was far from over. Encouraged by the protest's success, Niko knew they needed to take the fight further. They reached out to environmental lawyers who specialized in protecting indigenous lands. After several meetings, the lawyers agreed to help, seeing the importance of Niko's mission and the need to protect the river. The legal battle was grueling. The corporation had endless resources and a team of top attorneys, But Niko and the River Guardians had truth and justice on their side. They worked tirelessly, attending court hearings, gathering testimonies from villagers, and finding experts to testify on the environmental impact of the plant. The elders spoke of their spiritual connection to the river, and children shared stories of growing up alongside it, painting a vivid picture of the river's significance. The court cases stretched on for months, and as the pressure mounted, Niko found themselves feeling exhausted, sometimes even discouraged. But every time they returned to the riverbank, watching the river flow steadily as it always had, they felt a renewed strength. This wasn't just a fight for their generation. It was for the generations yet to come. Niko's fight was beginning to reach people far beyond the local region. Their story gained the attention of international environmental groups who shared it widely. Videos of the villagers' protests and testimonies reached audiences across the globe. Donations began pouring in to support the legal fees, and environmentalists from other countries joined their call. Soon, the story reached major media outlets. News channels aired reports on the River Guardians, interviewing Niko and others from the community, drawing attention to the corporation's actions. Facing global backlash, the corporation was forced to reconsider its plans, but it took the final court ruling for the corporation to officially withdraw its proposal. The judge declared the river up. The day the court ruling came in, the village erupted in celebration. Drums echoed along the riverbank, laughter filled the air, and the community gathered by the water. As they stood by the river, the elders performed a traditional blessing, thanking the spirits for guiding them through the struggle. Niko watched, reflecting on everything they had learned. They knew the fight was not over. Protecting the land and water would be a lifelong commitment. But for now, they could celebrate a hard-won victory. In the following weeks, the community gathered to plan their future. They formed a council to oversee the protection of the river and surrounding lands, involving elders, youth, and representatives from neighboring villages. Niko took on the role of leading environmental education programs, teaching young people about the importance of conservation and the power of standing up for what they believe in. The River Guardians had risen, and their victory echoed far and wide. Niko's journey had shown them, and the world, that true guardianship comes not from ownership, but from a deep, unwavering commitment to care for the earth. Today, the river flows freely, its waters clear, and its shores alive with new growth. The River Guardian's legacy lives on, a symbol of resilience, unity, and the power of community-led change.